After a 10-year break, Total Drama finally came back with 2 brand new seasons. The reboot takes place on an island similar to the original Camp Owanakwa. After a brief introduction in the first episode of Season 1, we meet the new cast. They are split into 2 teams. These are the Ferocious Trout. Axel has insane survival skills and she's ready for a zombie apocalypse. Priya is a girl that was trained her entire life for Total Drama. Z is a guy who loves soda and seems stoned all the time. Ripper is some kind of a failed bully. Damien is the rational one. Millie wants to write a journal about this failed generation. Lauren, aka Scary Girl, is the creepy one. And Chase is a famous YouTuber. Now, these are the Frogs of Death. Bowie is the competitive, open, gay one. MK is sarcastic and has unusual strategies. Julia is an influencer. Caleb is the hot guy. Raj and Wayne are the hockey bros. Nichelle is a movie star. And Emma is Chase's angry ex-girlfriend. After the introductions, the campers go to their cabins, in which we are shown MK stealing Julia's phone and a short conversation between Bowie and Emma. Then, the contestants are called to the challenge, which is something similar to a normal Total Drama obstacle race. Because of her emotions related to Chase, Emma causes her team to lose. Although at the elimination ceremony she expects to go home, we find out that Caleb is the first one eliminated. Apparently, Bowie convinced most of the other team members that Caleb would be too much of a threat to be left in the game, which also revealed Bowie as this season's main villain.
I told you, I came for the crown.
In the second episode, we see the friendship between Bowie and Emma developing, and Ripper trying to act like a bully from the 90s. Remember the phone MK stole from Julia in episode 1? From now on, she will use it to download everyone's confessionals. In the challenge, the teams are split on 2 ships, and have to shoot cabbages into one another until one of the ships sink. After a dispute for who should be the captain, Axel punched Ripper out of the boat, which disqualified her own member. Being at a disadvantage, under Wayne's command, the Frogs of Death decide to first shoot the other team's members one by one. After remaining alone, Z goes for a wild strategy of trying to crash his ship into the other team's ship in order to make a tie. Unfortunately, his plan goes wrong due to a gull, and the Frogs of Death win the challenge. When Z returns to the seashore, we find out that he is an amputee after a shark took his prosthetic leg. At the elimination ceremony, Axel is eliminated due to not being a good team player. Moving to episode 3, the episode starts with the Frogs of Death gathered around Nichelle and admiring her TV career. After that, the scene moves to the canteen where we find out that Priya's dream is to go to med school and that her parents would not allow that unless she won a Total Drama season. Here, we also see a cute moment between Raj and Bowie. At the challenge, Damien and Julia are put in some tubes that are filling up with water. The other team members have to go through different obstacles in order to obtain the key code numbers which can free them. Although the Frogs of Death were leading the challenge, they all counted on Nichelle to bring up the final number. After failing to do so, she revealed that she lied about doing her own stunts, which gets her eliminated later in the episode. In episode 4, Millie and Priya talk about Nichelle's bad performance at the challenge. Here we see more development in their friendship, as Priya offers Millie not only to form an alliance, but also to train her for the challenges. At the challenge, a skull and a fort is given to each team. The contestants have to capture the other team's skull and bring it to Chris. In order to defend their team's skull, the forts are equipped with water cannons, boulders, and plunger launchers. After being chased by Scary Girl, MK ends up in the control room. Bowie saves Raj from a boulder, and then we get another cute moment between them, and this time, Wayne starts figuring out that Raj is gay. After Ripper uses Priya as a shield, he manages to get the Frogs of Death's skull. He loses it quickly after MK randomly puts a shield in front of him. The skull gets to Scary Girl, but instead of taking it to Chris, she decides to give it a makeover.
I was trying to make her look good before taking her over. You only get one chance to make a first impression.
That not only gets her team to lose, but also gets her eliminated. Episode 5 opens up with Priya training Millie. Damien starts a campaign to convince everyone to vote him out of the island. This is probably the worst episode of the reboot, because it involves a lot of fart jokes. After being fed beans for breakfast, the contestants now can't stop farting and have to cross the island by being quiet and avoiding the raptors. Yet, this episode gives us the biggest plot twist of the season because here we found out about Julia's true personality. This moment was recorded by MK and was posted on Julia's account. Wait, isn't that defamation? Anyway, the challenge is won by the Frogs of Death. Although Damien saved his teammate's life and finally decided to stay in the contest, The others voted him off as an appreciation because they knew that's what he wanted. Pretty ironic. In the next episode, Julia starts losing a lot of followers due to the video MK uploaded. Yet she isn't actually sad, but rather relieved since now she doesn't have to pretend anymore. MK steals Raj and Wayne's artificial beards in order to sell them online. She then accuses Julia of stealing it, but she denies it. In this episode's challenge, the contestants must catapult themselves into the targets, which apparently is the only challenge Chase was afraid of doing on his channel. Raj gets stuck in tapioca pudding. When Bowie comes to save him, he kisses him while Wayne is watching. Before the elimination ceremony, Julia revealed that MK was watching their confessionals, which resulted in MK's elimination. In episode 7, the teams finally merge. Chris puts up each contestant to bring him an egg from the world's most dangerous bird. Wayne tries to get Raj to come clean on him and to admit his feelings for Bowie. However, Raj and Bowie agree to pause what is happening between them until after the contest. Ripper uses Z's hiccup to distract the bird and obtain the eggs. Also, Chase and Emma got back together, since she thought Chase finally apologized for cutting her brakes. In reality, he did it because he dropped her candy bar. In the end, Raj finally admits to Wayne that he is gay. This was a great moment for their friendship, since Wayne was very supportive. Yet, they're the ones eliminated this time due to the injuries they got during the challenge. In the next episode, the recently merged contestants have to eat disgusting food, which is chosen by the so-called Wheel of Vomit. Yet, after hearing what is the first meal, Millie decides to give up. Emma finds out that Chase didn't apologize for cutting her brakes and starts arguing with him again. Although everyone is disgusted by the food, Z seems to actually like Chef's food. Yet he threw up after Julia explained to him where milk comes from. In the final round, Julia beat Ripper and won immunity. At the elimination ceremony, Ripper is the one sent home. In Battlefield Earth, the campers are tasked to race to the top of a honey-filled mountain. 2 alliances of 3 are formed, one between Priya, Millie, and Julia, and one between Bowie, Emma, and Chase. Yet both alliances need the vote from Z. However, he actually agreed to join both alliances. During the challenge, the rivalry between Bowie and Julia starts to grow. Bowie had advantages until he said that Julia's followers are bots, which enraged her and made her win the challenge. At the elimination ceremony, Z revealed that he joined both alliances with the final goal of merging the alliances and voting off Chris. Bad move, buddy. With Chris's approval for a revote, the 2 alliances come to an agreement to vote Z off. In the next episode, the challenge is pretty simple. The remaining contestants have to stand on a pole for as long as possible while Chris tempts them to get off. A hike from earlier results in severe dehydration for Priya. Bowie notices the phone MK used to download everyone's confessionals on the beach and decides to get himself eliminated in order to get it. After several hours of waiting and only 2 contestants eliminated, Chris decided to tempt them with pizza. In his rush to get a slice, Chase pushes most of the other contestants out of their pole, all of them except for Emma. Emma thinks that he did that for her and forgives him once again. However, their romance doesn't continue since Chase is eliminated at the end of the episode. Moving on to the next episode, in the opening scene we see Millie and Priya give each other friendship bracelets. Julia tries to break their friendship, but she fails to do so. After that, she goes to Emma and tells her that Bowie voted for Chase at the elimination ceremony. That makes Emma doubt her friendship with Bowie. At the challenge, the contestants have to take selfies with different dangerous animals. Bowie finally admits that he voted for Chase, which ultimately ruins his alliance with Emma. The challenge is won by Julia, and Emma is the one sent home because she was becoming a threat due to how good she did on the challenge. In the semi-finale, the contestants have to collect total drama tokens from a cave. Bowie agrees with Millie and Priya that he will lie to Julia offering her an alliance, but ultimately sabotage her. Although he didn't succeed on that, Millie and Priya collected more tokens and Priya got the immunity. At the elimination ceremony, Priya, Millie, and Bowie vote for Julia, which results in her elimination. After that, Bowie leaves Millie's diary as a present on Priya's bed, ruining their friendship.
Yes, I did. I'm going to be a millionaire.
This is like a Season 1 Heather move. Next is the finale episode of Season 1. After Millie and Priya's friendship is ruined, Bowie begins to feel really confident that he would win the big prize. The previously eliminated contestants are back for the challenge, as using the Wheel of Losers, it would be decided on who will help each finalist. Damien is paired with Priya, Ripper with Millie, and Julia with Bowie. First, the contestants have to take down a tree and then build a boat in order to navigate a lava lake. After Priya's boat sinks, she jumps on Bowie's and offers him to make a short alliance until Millie is eliminated from the race. After she is eliminated, Millie explains to Priya about a final page that Bowie left out, and in which she admits that all the things she wrote were because of her insecurity, so they end their beef. In the final part of the challenge, Priya and Bowie have to race up a mountain, get into a turbo orb, and then use it to cross the finish line first. Also, each of them had to carry 2 goats up on the mountain, because Chef thought it would be funny. After a close competition, Priya wins the challenge and becomes the winner of Total Drama Island 2023 Season 1. Between the 2 seasons, there is a 1-year time skip. The season opens with the contestants being thrown from the helicopter. Scary Girl gets a makeover. Chris asks the last season finalists to pick their teams. Priya's team is called Ratface, and Bowie's team is called Skunk Butt. MK and Julia start a friendship by admiring each other's strategy. Caleb wants to get close to Priya in order to form an alliance with her. Then the contestants have to participate in a green light red light challenge. Here, MK finds out that there is an extra intern uniform available that would allow her to cheat on the challenges. In the end, Nichelle's training between seasons pays off, and she brings the win for her team. At the elimination ceremony, Scary Girl is sent home because everyone found her new personality even more creepy. In episode 2, the contestants compete in a game of water slide basketball. Ripper reveals his crush on Axel, while Emma manipulates Chase into performing badly at the challenge. For most of the episode, Bowie's team has the advantage, until Millie pushes Damien on the most dangerous slide, obtaining victory. At the elimination ceremony, Chase is sent home. In the next episode, MK pretends to be an intern and obtains important details about the next challenge. In this episode, the contestants have to race across the island after being covered in the sap of the world's stickiest tree. Then, after the challenge, Chef and the interns would have used the desapifying spray on them. So, MK stole some spray and used it during the challenge in order to win. Although during the episode, Damien forgives Millie for what she did in the previous episode, she's still sent home. Episode 4 is called Choosin' for a Bruisin'. Raj was sad because his team cheated, so Bowie apologized to him. Yet, MK and Julia use the intern uniform once again and find out the answers for the challenge. The contestants must correctly answer "Would you rather" questions about each other or risk falling off a bridge and into a pool full of wolverines. Emma tries to help the other contestants, but gets all the answers wrong until everyone starts answering with the opposite answer. Yet, Priya's team loses and Emma is sent home. At the end of the episode, Ripper confesses his feelings for Axel with a poem. The 5th episode starts with Caleb and Priya running through the woods. After returning to the cabins, Priya starts kissing a pillow and pretending that it is Caleb. When Z walks in, she explains that she has a crush on him. At the challenge, the contestants have to go through an iceberg where they can choose one of 2 paths: an obstacle course or a maze. Bowie, Raj, and Wayne decide to stop Julia and MK from cheating. Although their teams still win by luck, Chris finally discovers that MK cheated. At the elimination, Nichelle reveals that she got a contract from Hollywood and decides to leave the show. But before the episode ends, Julia revealed that she actually wrote the contract. Episode 6 opens up with Caleb admitting to Z that he doesn't like Priya but uses her alliance to win. This is the episode when the teams merge. For the first part of the challenge, the contestants are paired in teams of 2 and have to carry some canoes to the beach. Chris punishes MK for cheating by making her carry the canoe by herself. At the beach, each contestant has to push into the water the other person that helped carry the canoe. Because MK had no partner in caring for the canoe, she's put to fight a bear. Caleb and Priya have a good time, and he starts catching feelings for her. After both of them lose the challenge, they decide to start looking for the immunity idol together, but fail to find it. The challenge is surprisingly won by Damien. At the elimination ceremony, Bowie is sent home. In the next episode, Priya and Caleb start developing more chemistry. Damien finds the immunity idol. This challenge is a cooking contest where the contestants have to bake a cake that looks like Chris. The The remaining contestants are paired in 3 teams. Team 1 is formed of Damien, Z, Caleb, and Priya. Team 2 is formed of MK, Axel, and Ripper. And the third team is formed of Julia and the Hockey Bros. For this challenge, Chris brings back a special guest from the original cast, Owen, who is gonna be a jury for the contest. Julia and the Hockey Bros win the challenge. At the elimination ceremony, Axel is eliminated and Ripper decides to follow her, which results in a double elimination. Episode 8 starts up with Damien checking the immunity idol because he got an anonymous letter that someone knows he has it. So he decides to constantly change its location. Apparently the letter was written by Julia, who actually wrote this kind of letter for everyone just to find out if anyone has found the idol. MK and Julia try to find Z's secret about Caleb, but he manages not to tell them. In the challenge, the contestants have to carry giant coins up all the way to a mountain. Then they have to get to the pinball zone. Caleb helps Priya win the challenge, and then the two of them kiss. Yet shortly after their romantic moment, Z tells everyone that Caleb doesn't actually like Priya and he is just using her. Which was true back then, but not now, considering that he has feelings for her too. Besides this, Z also reveals everyone else's secrets and gets eliminated because of it. The 9th episode opens up with Priya crying and everyone trying to cheer her up, except for MK and Julia, who just want to turn everyone against Caleb. For the first part of the challenge, the campers have to bring to Chris the biggest object they can find. Then they have to break that object and get it through a wooden door. Although Caleb brought an actual yacht, he somehow manages to get it through the small door. MK and Julia are the most probable to be eliminated, but since they were good friends this season, they decide not to try to influence each other's votes. Yet, MK tries to make Julia look bad in the other contestants' eyes. However, because Julia told everyone about their arrangement, MK looked like a traitor and everyone voted for her.
Do they like each other or not? I can't tell.
In the next episode, Caleb tries to apologize to Priya, yet things seems to remain the same between them. Julia manipulates them into not speaking with each other. The next challenge is a memory one. Julia thinks that Damien is copying her, so she tries to sabotage him. After a long time in which they didn't talk to each other, Caleb finally reveals his love for Priya, which results in them getting back together. Although Caleb and Priya team up against Julia in the final round, Julia ultimately wins the challenge due to the fact that Caleb has taken Julia's tablet by mistake. At the elimination ceremony, Damien gets the most votes. Although he had the immunity idol, we find out that he somehow lost it. In the beginning of episode K9-5, Priya and Caleb get back together after Caleb rizzes her again.
What other reason could you possibly have?
You, Priya. Immunity gave me another chance to spend more time with you.
In this episode's challenge, MacArthur from Redonkulous Race makes a cameo. The contestants have 2 minutes to run before her hounds begin to hunt them down. In a close battle between Julia and Priya, Julia manages to win by using her fake nails.
I have the power of fake nails.
After the challenge, Julia tries to convince the Hockey Bros to vote out Priya. After that doesn't work out, Priya finds out about Caleb's agreement with Julia, which starts another argument. In the end, Raj is the one who gets voted off. In episode 12, Julia is caught by Caleb and Priya while trying to ensure he isn't double-crossing her. She reminds Caleb about their agreement, which makes Priya even more angry about the whole situation. Then Priya convinces Caleb to still betray Julia. In this challenge, the contestants need to hook each other. The hooked player will be picked up and dropped into the tank of terror. In the final moments of the challenge, Priya and Julia try to convince Caleb to hook the other so they could win. Caleb chooses to hook them both, so he wins immunity.
Oh, guys! I can't find the zipper in the sleeping bag!
The campers vote out Julia, but it's revealed that she actually stole the immunity idol from Damien. So the one who gets voted out is Priya. Next we have the finale. The last remaining contestants are Caleb, Julia, and Wayne. The other contestants are brought back in order to help the finalist. Compared to the other finale, now every eliminated contestant can choose who they want to help. The final challenge is made up of 3 parts. First, each finalist has to carry a wagon with their teammates. Then there's a thigh rope walk, and after that, the finalists have to glide to the finish spot. Most of the action focused on the rivalry between Caleb and Julia, but at the final moments with a very close win, Wayne becomes the new Turtle Drama champion.
Not only did I play fair and win, it was a total fluke! Wayne!
So this is it, guys. What do you think about the new Turtle Drama reboot? Make sure to tell us in the comments. Take care and see you next time.